తిప్పు. ఓకే, కామెంట్ కొట్టు అక్కడి నుంచి. ఉందా? Good evening. Good evening, Srimanji. Hope I am audible. Hello, Rajiv ji. Good evening. Please write in the chat box whether I am audible. Rajiv ji, you are always with me. And Srimant Kumar, of course. He is our SPOC. So he has to be with us always. Hi, Sandeep. Good evening. Srimanji, we will wait for 2-3 minutes and then start. Okay? Please text whether I am audible. I think the page also moving. PPT page is also moving. I just checked up. So let us see how it will happen today. Can we start, Srimanji? Good evening. Hello friends, how are you? Welcome to my live chat on employability in IT under the value added sessions of the trainers camp. The trainers camp is a group of like-minded, learned experts and knowledgeable people on the Facebook group dedicated to build a strong India during this pandemic situation through sharing of cash, CASH, not of course CASH, but KASH cash, sharing of knowledge, abilities, skills and habits. Today my topic is employability in IT. That means what are the employment opportunities available for the youth in the country in the field of IT sector, and also the capability of IT sector or potentiality of IT industry to absorb the employment. నాన్న మళ్ళీ పేజ్ వచ్చింది. ఓకే, కంటెంట్స్. TTC Sankalp Initiative and IT sector potential, employability in IT, facts on IT employment, and then IT skill development. Okay, so as I was telling, the TTC Sankalp Initiative is based on 5 pillars, that is stay positive, stay healthy, be responsible, be skillful, and promote local. The Sankalp Sashakt Bharat Ka, the initiative of TCDC is well advocated and very well taken by the public and the viewers of the Facebook worldwide. Around 400 live sessions have been conducted so far during the last 1.5 months on the Sankalp initiative, and around 8 lakh population have seen it and have commented on this great initiative of the TTC. I am very thankful to all the TTC core members for taking this initiative, for creating an awareness among the public about being stay positive, being healthy, being responsible, getting skills updated, and promoting local products so that we can withstand ourselves and stand on our own legs during this pandemic situation. This being the Sankalp initiative, under the Sankalp initiative, there are 2 other initiatives which have been also propagated by the TTC. One is value added session and the other is YES. YES stands for Youth Enablement Series. YES stands for Youth Enablement Series. Under value added sessions, so far around 70-75 sessions have been conducted on various domain knowledge, and the people, the members of the group who have expertise on their own domain knowledge have delivered talks in value added session like employability, changing of behavior, change management, then how to be positive, all these things. I have done one Sankalp session, value added session on IT for society. And now this is my second value added session on employability in IT. Of course, this Sankalp initiative made people aware of the pandemic situation and how to face it boldly, but pandemic as a whole now has come to the unlock status. But when it was totally locked down, we have learned certain lessons. What are these pandemic lessons? Convert crisis into opportunity. Convert crisis into opportunity. These lessons are at 2 levels. One is individual level and the other is institutional level. At individual level, we need to comply with expert advice and move forward with confidence. For example, yesterday in the value added session, we heard the famous eye doctor on how to deal with the computer, how we have to face the computer, how much distance we should maintain, what should be the eye contact, and what precaution to be taken so that your eyes are not damaged due to prolonged viewing the computer or mobile or the TV during this pandemic situation, because we are all in the house. We are house locked. We are staying at home. So most of that our time we are spending on the either visuals or audios. So when we see the visuals, how we should be careful. Yesterday, that eye doctor has explained us in very detail. Then there is no substitute to hard work. You have to continue to hard work, whether there is a lockdown or whether there is a pandemic or whether it is spreading too fast or whether there are so many containment areas or whether it is receding, whatever is the position. And then show loyalty to your work. Whatever work you do, you be loyal to your work. Then self-engineering and re-engineering ourselves. So we need lot of empathy to be shown during this great hour towards elders, towards the society, and towards your neighbors. So show empathy and not sympathy. Then at institutional level, we have team spirit, collective human power, caring and sharing. So caring and sharing, you care for others and also share whatever you know about being responsible, being positive, and being well enough to behave properly in the society during this pandemic situation. Do not go out unnecessarily. That is one teaching we should know. And we need to observe it as a team spirit. And then online classes to be made integral part of teaching methodology and curriculum. Online classes now have become a hour of the need of the hour. Day in and day out, you cannot go out, and then all our students or the learned people have to spend on online classes. So teaching methodologies have to be in tune with the online mode. And then we have to slowly unlock the phase of work from home to work to home schedule. So these are the crises pandemic has taught us, convert the crisis into opportunity. These are the lessons which we taught. Now, I am coming to the IT, employability in IT. For that we should know what are the verticals available. Like in hospitality, we have tourism, we have logistics, we have transport. Similarly, in IT, we have the following broad classification: software development, software services, IT-enabled services, hardware, IoT and SMAC. IoT is Internet of Things. SMAC is social, mobility, analytics and cloud. Social means all our mobiles and all those things. Mobility is our mobile. Social is WhatsApp groups, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Twitter, all those things. And then analytics, all the data, Aadhaar data is very much analytical. And now this COVID data, COVID app of the government of India is very much analytical. It gives you minute to minute update on the number of COVID cases and all. Then cloud, all the data now, as I was telling in my previous class, IT for society, now there is no need to keep big hard disks in our house or servers. Everything is on cloud. All the data is on cloud now. So these are the basic IT classifications. Software development, everybody knows. Software services, that is called IT enabled services. And then hardware means this computer, the server, the keyboard, mouse, and then the connectivity such as router, hubs and all those things. So after this, then how the IT jobs are classified. In Government of India, I worked in Government of India and state government. The normal nomenclature is junior assistant, senior assistant, superintendent, then section officer, desk officer, under secretary, deputy secretary, joint secretary, like that. Similarly, in IT also, the jobs are classified right from trainee or junior associate, then associate, senior associate, then junior programmer, junior hardware engineer, then team group leader, database administrator, systems analyst, business analyst, senior principal systems analyst, project manager. Then comes the senior levels like project manager, assistant vice president, associate vice president, vice president, like that. So a person who joins as a trainee or junior associate has the fair chances of going up to the level of vice president, a vertical head, or a project head, or head for 2-3 projects he can become, or head for 2-3 countries, like that. So this is the nomenclature in normal IT industry. Thank you, Subhash Kumarji, for joining. Yes, online classes are the new normal for students as well as the employees too. Then, okay, what is the software classification we have seen? IT, ITES, all those things, SMAC, IoT. Similarly, hardware is also classified as communication and broadcast electronics. Then consumer electronics, industrial electronics, computer hardware, automotive electronics, strategic electronics, aerospace and defense. All these verticals in hardware also creates lot of employment, but mostly this employment is technical skills. One should have technical skills and should know the technical know-how for these jobs. Whereas for IT jobs, you can have technical cadres as well as non-technical cadres. For IT enabled services, MBAs, MCAs are preferred than BTech students, because in IT there are 2-3 divisions. One is customer support, the other is technical support. In customer support, general graduates can go in, and in technical support, engineering graduates will go in. So you know all these communication and broadcast electronics, consumer electronics, our TVs, audio equipment, digital cameras, household appliances, and all those things. And then mobile electronics is modems, routers, switches, mobile telecom equipment, and all those things. Then industrial electronics is our energy meters, power electronics, inverters, weighing machines, all those things. Then computer hardware is your desktop, notebook, tablets, etc. Strategic electronics is defense electronics. As you know, it is all military warfare systems, weapon systems, and all those things. And automotive electronics are two-wheeler ignition units, regulators, electric vehicles, etc., etc. All parts are assembly articles that can be used in automotive industry. Then, having done with the classification, then what is employability and what is IT employability? Employability is basically employee plus ability. That means ability to get employment by the youth or ability to provide employment by the employers. So employability is on both sides. One should be able to, an aspiring youth should be able to get employment, as well as the industry should be able to provide suitable employment to the upcoming youth or pass out graduates. It is observed that in an IT company, 95% are IT jobs, as I was telling, technical support, customer support, all those things, offshore support, onshore support, project support, all those things. Only 5% are support jobs. That means 95% are all IT related, technical or non-technical in nature, and 5% is only admin, HR, or finance. That means out of 100, only 5 jobs belongs to the general category candidates. So, but why this happens? This happens because all the other only core activities are kept by an IT company, or domain area is kept by the IT company. Remaining all peripheral activities are outsourced by an IT company. Normally, most of the IT companies outsource all their peripheral activities. Like payment of salaries, or maintenance, facilities management, building they take on lease, like Mindspace, Raheja, Divyasri, Lanco. All these SEZs or IT parks have emerged because they don't, no American IT company or no MNC wants to build an asset in India. So they all take the spaces on lease, maybe for 3 years, maybe for 5 years, depending on their requirement. Likewise, so all support sectors like facility, transport, infra, hotels. In Raheja Mindspace, a Westin hotel is there. That's all. That caters to the needs of at least 30 to 40% of the IT employees who comes from abroad, or who comes from other cities to Hyderabad on office work. So that is why people say the NASSCOM, National Association for Software and Service Exports, that is a body of the IT industry, that has classified that one direct job created in IT sector in turn creates 4 indirect employment in other sectors of the society. So this is clear. So that means if, for example, in Hyderabad now there are 5 lakhs IT employees, they are supported by at least 20 lakhs employees in other sectors of the society. So this is a cascading effect of the economy. So that means if 5 lakhs IT employees are there in Hyderabad, 5 lakh is supported by into 4, 20 lakh population. Likewise, 20 lakh other jobs are there, means 1 crore population is supported by the employment that is directly or indirectly created by the IT sector. Then what are the types of employment? Permanent employment, regular employment, fixed term employees, contract employees, apprentice or trainees, contractors or placement agencies. They outsource the employees to the IT company as per the requirement of IT company. So permanent, as in government sector, permanent employees. And then there are a fixed term employees like the commissioned officers in army, 10 years, 15 years they work and then go away. Then contract employees, they taken on a specific project purpose. Then apprentice, then placement agencies. So how the types of IT employment can be bifurcated? IT employment can be bifurcated as startup and then consultancy services. So startups, that means people who start, who can have the entrepreneur capabilities, they can start their own units. So they will be given the seed capital and they will generate the project ideas and convert the same from startup company to a regular IT company. Then we have internet cafes, data entry centers, DTPs, kiosks, Mi-Seva centers given on franchise. All these are on self-employment basis. Consultancy services. I do because I am expertise in some Java, Oracle, or database management. So I will give consultancy. So my own consultancy I am having. It's again self-employment. And then providing HR consultancy, HR hiring services. Lot of companies have been promoted. Only they recruit the candidates and then they outsource them to the IT companies basing on their requirements. Likewise, consultancy in software development and services. Like providing HR consultancy, you have consultancy in software development also. So these are the self-employment opportunities available in IT sector. And then what are the types of IT employment? Regular employment or self-employment. Regular employment in organized sector and regular employment in unorganized sector. What is the organized sector? Organized sector is government, recruitment through UPSC. There is a called Indian Technical Service, ITS. And there is another service called Information Technology Service also. Now UPSC conducts exam amongst the IAS and allied services. The other day in the S series, one placement agent, one IAS academy person is telling that there are 56 allied services in IAS. So ITS are Indian Economic Service, Indian Statistical Service, all these are the services comes under UPSC, Indian Administrative Service and Allied Services. Good evening, Miss Madhumati. Good evening, Madhumati Garu. Hope you are catching up what I am trying to explain. Thanks for joining me. And then SSB, Service Selection Board, that is for defense services. The other day, Subhash Kumar Sharma ji has explained in detail what are the employment opportunities in defense sector, right from the first lieutenant to the brigadier or air vice marshal or major general, something like that. So his presentation was very much comprehensive on defense services. Really, I thank Subhash Kumar Sharma ji for giving that a very detailed presentation and motivating the youth to join the defense services. Then we have defense organizations like DRDO, all those things. Then scientific organizations, ISRO and all those things, state government, banks and finance services. All these require the IT employees. Then corporate. In corporate services, we have all MNCs, Indian IT companies. There are around 1500 ITS companies in Hyderabad. Medium and small IT product and service companies, the small SMEs, MSMEs, they are called small software development companies, or they manage the services. And then IT HR consultancy companies, organized sector, there are very big HR consultancy service companies. And then unorganized sector, as I discussed earlier, data entry centers, and then placement agencies and all those things. Then now, due to the emerging technologies and fast version changes, new areas are emerging for employment in IT sectors. New roles or verticals are being defined. The first role is data scientist and analyst. So they analyze the data. They don't do coding and all. They are not programmers. They analyze the data and then put the data in a representable and meaningful fashion. Like Aadhaar data you have. Aadhaar data can be used either for opening bank account or for applying ration card. So the data is used for both the purposes. So data scientist does this activity, how to analyze the data. And then cyber detectives. Lot of hacking is happening, whether it is ethical hacking or non-ethical happening. We know lot of our data is with Chinese companies. So all this, how it happens, they can't take directly data from any data management agency. It is only through hacking. So cyber detectives are very wanted profession now. IoT experts, Internet of Things experts, it's a separate stream. Likewise, artificial intelligence AI experts. Then RPA. What is RPA? Robotic process automation. So all these controllers, robotic, what is robotic? It performs the automate routine tasks quickly and cost effectively. So automatic processes like a lathe machine, CNC machine, all those are run by robotics only. So to control robotics, there are RPA controllers. Then API integrators. Who are API integrators? API integrators are API, what is API basically? An application programming interface. It's a tool that program can use to create user interface software. What is the user interface software? API that is used to detect touch screen interactions. Now we are doing, we are moving our mouse or browsing some page. All these are browsing our WhatsApp or linking WhatsApp in our desktop. All these are APIs. There are touch screen interactions. Okay, so these are the new potential roles. Madam, for mediocres, you have the IT normal coding, decoding. I already explained that slide earlier. I think you can see the presentation. In third or fourth slide, I explained about the various hierarchy like programmer, junior programmer, senior programmer, all those things. So in IT enabled side, like you have associates and all those things. So those are for mediocre students, and this is for technical students. Okay, then IT prospective verticals. What are the new verticals that are emerging based on the roles we have discussed? Blockchain technology. Blockchain technology is what? Right from picking up a product or good from the consignor to the consignee, or from the seller to buyer, everything is automated. Now you see our Amazon. Amazon, you book one article, you know where it is, when it is being shipped, when it is on transit, when it will reach the destination, and when it will be again given to our person who is coming to at your doorstep, and when it is delivered to you. So everything is monitored, totally computerized. One will know what is happening about his goods or services, and the process involved in that. That is called blockchain technology. And then cloud, all this data putting in cloud. And then Internet of Things, sitting in your office, thinking that you will go to your house at 5:30, you can ask the geyser or hot water to get boiled by 5:45. In another 10-15 minutes you will reach. Sitting in office through your mobile, you can operate your geyser. Likewise, you can operate your doors, house doors, or you can operate your fridge sitting in office itself. And if any thief comes and touches your any article, you will get an alarm. So all these are happens through IoT. These are small things. I mean, for mediocre purpose, I told there are higher level applications also in IoT. And then virtual reality. So the virtual reality, what we see in animation movies and all. Then augmented reality, animation movies with digital effects, with 3D technologies. So all these things we find in gaming, entertainment, and advertising the tourism. In now TV, we see lot of infrastructure projects being advertised. They are all done with virtual reality. And then big data. Then SMAC, what is told was earlier, social, mobility, analytics, and cloud. Then cyber security is also now required. Drone pilots. See, every day for everything we will find. For pesticide spraying, we are using drones. For finding which house is affected by corona, or which is the containment area which can be lifted. The containment red zone can be lifted. All these things are now totally monitored by drones. For monitoring and running the drone, you need drone pilots. So this is another vertical now which is coming. Having understood, now I am going about the IT employment potential and what is the present situation in IT in India with general reference and with particular reference to the state of Telangana where we are now. So if you can observe that in 2015-16, 36.88 lakh employees, IT employees were there in India. In Telangana, 4,07,385. In 18-19, it rose to, from 36 lakhs to, it rose to 41.40 lakhs. So there is a increase of around 5 lakh IT employees in India during the last 3-4 years. Similarly, there is an increase of from 4,07,385 to in 1920. These results are announced by the government of Telangana only last month in their annual report for 1920. Now the present IT employees in Telangana are 5,82,126. This is direct employment. I am not talking about indirect employment. Indirect employment 1:4 again ratio. If there are 5.82 lakh IT employees are there, there are another 20 lakh non-IT or indirect employment created by IT sector in the state. So this is overall scenario. This is graphic representation, of course. What are the Vinod Singh ji? Good evening. Thanks for joining me. So this is a graphical representation of the employment status in Telangana as well as the export sector. Because whether there is employment opportunities are there or not, employment opportunities there or not is judged by the export potential or the GDP. So here in IT, 80% is exported. So we take exports as the benchmarking figure. So the exports are growing in Telangana from 57,000 crores in 13-14 to now 1 crore. So 1 crore 9 lakhs. So that means in a period of 5 years, the growth has been 100% growth from 57,000 crores to 1 crore 9 lakhs. So this is the growth. That means IT is performing. IT is performing, and in employment also, while the national growth is 7.2 4.93%, the state growth is 7.2% in employment. So facts on IT employment in Telangana. In this state, I am taking as a case study, I am taking this example. Good evening, Suresh Garu. Thanks for joining me. As an example, I am taking All India also. I will come after this slide. There are 286 private engineering colleges and 23 government colleges in Telangana. For the year 1920, there are 88,199 engineering seats. And you know, nearly 58% of engineering passed out are unemployed. Very pathetic situation. That is why we need skills and skill development. I'll come to that after this. And 42% are mostly hired via campus placements, job melas, lateral hiring. So this is what I am trying to tell, that in IT companies, what is the source of recruitment? First they go for campus placements in third year of degree, engineering degree or general degree. Third year, but mostly they go to big colleges, and they won't select all. If there are 50 students, only 10 students are selected from a college by one company. Like that, there are around 100 MNCs. Out of 1500 companies, IT companies in Hyderabad, there are 100 to 150 MNC companies are major IT companies. I'll show that slide, what are the companies are there. In the next slide I will show. So they take only 10 people, 10 candidates or something like that. So remaining all are come to the job market. Remaining all come to the job market and they become the freshers. If they get job in 1 year, it's okay. If they cross 1 year of unemployment, they become deadwood in IT. Because the skills are fast changing, the versions are, there is a lot of upgradation in technology, and the versions are fast coming. So what you learned 1 year back will become outdated now. So for this purpose, you need to enhance or augment your skills. I'll come to that slide separately. So that being the Telangana IT sector, this is Telangana electronic sector. There are 250 big electronic manufacturers in the country, in India, in Hyderabad, in Telangana state, like Micron, ECIL, Lampix, Sulakshana Circuits, Skyworth, Electronics, Digitronics, Amar Raja, OSA, Astrom. Amar Raja is in Andhra as well as in Telangana. So it has 2 units. Likewise, most of them have now units in Andhra and Telangana. Maybe Hyderabad being the first base, Hyderabad is a bigger unit, and Andhra Pradesh may be somewhat smaller units. So the electronic people, 1.15 lakh people are employed in electronic sector, and electronic sector contributes to 6% of national electronic goods production. So in 2019, in Telangana, an investment proposal worth 7,377.84 crores has been received by the, yes, of course, madam, BHEL. Well, we can tell there is so a lot of electronic companies are there. Only for core electronic companies only I have listed that to a small number, because time, for the purpose of time, this thing I am trying to restrict very small few companies. And then so this figure of 7,377.84 crores of investment proposals received by Telangana government in 2009 shows the potentiality for development of electronic sector in the state. Then IT employability and SWOT analysis, because I made a small SWOT analysis on employability in IT. What are the strengths? What are the weaknesses? What are the opportunities? What are the threats? Strengths, yes, we have good computing skills. The Indians basically have good computing skills. Aryabhatta invented zero, as we all know. So the figure, mathematical figure zero comes from here. And then we are good at English, maybe because of under the legacy of Never Sunset Empire, under the Commonwealth control. under British Raj, we learned good English. So we are good at English. And then we do a lot of hard work. We are not let us not name the countries. There are so many other countries who doesn't do hard work at all. So we are hardworking people, and we do lot of localization. If we see something new, we will immediately copy it. That is why I said USA. USA means, I mean, in our early stages, when I was working in Bombay in finance ministry, I used to notice USA, made in USA, all electronic goods in that fort area. That is, USA means what? Ulhasnagar Sindhi Association. So we are very good at localization and copying. So we can develop what we learn. We can develop, and then we have a comprehensive education system. Whether you take CBSE or a state syllabus or ICSE, we have a good comprehensive education system. These being the strengths. What are our weaknesses? There is a industry academia linkage is missing. What the academics taught, what the universities teach does not match the industry requirements, because industry technology is fast upgrading now. So academia, if you want to change the curriculum, Senate has to sit, Senate has to approve, university has sent the proposal to AICTE, AICTE has to send to their HRD ministry or education ministry, then they have to approve. It will take at least 2-3 years to change the syllabus. So industry academia linkage is not there, because there is a lot of gap between skill and industry requirement, syllabus and industry requirement, and then skill gap. It is not only what we learn, it is what we apply. So what we practice, and what skills are required to understand and implement what you have learned. So that skill gap is there. Then mother tongue effect, of course, we have that mother tongue effect. There is a slang in our communication, so it's a problem for us. So we can't do good communication, faster communication, or sophisticated communication. Then another weakness is we don't want to work here. Everybody wants to go abroad. Immediately in third year itself, you prepare for GRE, TOEFL, whatnot, everything. So your mood or momentum is bent upon doing something else, not learning the skills or updating your knowledge. And slow adoption to online teaching methods. Now because of pandemic, yes, slow adoption. We have to now we can't be slow in adopting. We have to be very fast in adopting the online teaching methods. Yes, madam, wide gap in application and theory. What we learn is different from what we practice in our job or what we do. Our learning is different and our job roles are different. Application of what you learned to the job is totally independent and totally different. I agree with you. There is a wide gap in application and theory. And then what are the opportunities? Yes, these being the strengths and weaknesses, first we have very good opportunity. Government support is there. Lot of government support in providing IT employment, providing startup policy. Telangana government law, all state governments are very proactive. They are very proactive and very systematic, either in supporting the industry or supporting the students or promotion of industry. So whatever you take, whether it is you take IT policy, information technology policy, or electronic policy, or startup policy, or IoT policy, every government has its own policies, and a lot of incentives are given to set up the units. And this I will separately deal in another value added session, if opportunity is given by TTC, on entrepreneurship in IT. I will separately take that chapter because it's a very wide chapter, and I will quote all the policies which are the existing policies and all those things in that chapter. So there is a lot of government support, and then ever expanding market potential. We have out of the IT software developed, 55% is exported. IT services or IT projects, 55% are for US. There is a lot of market, US market share is, a lot of market is improving. Then Indian IT industry Last year, 2,05,000 new recruitments have happened in 2019. And there are 40,000 firms. Hyderabad 1,500 firms I told. All India basis, whether you take right from MSME to the big MNC like Infosys, TCS, Cognizant and all those things, there are around 40,000 companies spread over all the states across the country. And there is a lot of trust and dependency. There is a lot of trust and dependency for our products abroad, quality and timeline, because we meet our quality. As Indians, we never compromise in quality nor in timelines. We are ahead of timelines. Now for 5G, we are already in experimental stage. US and of course China, they are taking the 5G products are developed in India. 5G chip is developed in India by Qualcomm. I should not name the company, but so there are a lot of in India the products are developed. That is why a lot of projects we get on offshore. Yes, Sharma ji, very nice. Thank you very much. I will definitely do another session on entrepreneurship in IT, provided you give me an opportunity. Thanks a lot. Then threats. What are the threats we have? This being the strength, weakness and opportunities, the threats are gluts in overseas products and services. Chinese, they give a lot of cheap products. Mobile, you get mobile from 1,500 to at least 25,000 Chinese mobile. But if you go to Sony or iPhone, you know the cost of it. So lack of employment opportunities due to pandemic. Yes, I understand. There are a lot of pulmel in the IT industry. The employment, I believe 20 to 25% employees are being given pink slips now. Maybe they are at lower level or middle level, or some people are not performing assets. We don't know, but there is 20% reduction in employment is happening now due to pandemic, and then recession, you know, and then fast technology upgradation, version changes. This is another threat for a graduate to get an employment. So these are the IT employability. What are the strengths and analysis? I have made a SWOT analysis. Hope you appreciate. And then this is again another slide that what is the advantage our IT has in India, that expanding economy, and then artificial intelligence and machine learning will contribute, will has a market of around $1 trillion US by 2035. And then we have a lot of good policies. So these are the what is the advantage in India? What advantage India has in IT sector? And then what is the IT industry potentiality in India? I told about Telangana earlier, 5-6 slides earlier. Now I believe these are the statistics which I have taken sources from National Sample Survey Organization and the MeitY, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, and NASSCOM, National Association for Software and Service Exports. There is a total workforce in India is 47.13 crores. This is 17-18 figures. Total workforce is 47 lakhs in India or in organized sector. Out of it, IT workforce is 43 lakhs. So out of 47 lakhs, 43 lakhs is IT workforce. It's a commendable figure. And then IT industry grew to $181 billion in 1819. And it is expected to grow to $350 billion by 25. That means from $181 billion to $350 billion, the IT industry is going to grow. It is expected to reach US dollar 350 billion by 2025. And it is proposed, this is again NASSCOM survey, by 2022 around 2 million, that means 20 lakh direct hires, and 76, that is 1:4 ratio again, million indirect hires are required in the IT industry. So in the next 2-3 years, 8 lakh, 2 lakh IT employment, 20 lakh IT employment is going to be created, believe me. 20 lakh IT employment in different sectors and different verticals, whether it is government, organized sector, unorganized sector, or self-employment. 20 lakh IT employment is going to be created. So this is the opportunity. And then this is about electronic potential. Total electronic industry is about 2 trillion industry, and India is about 47 billion as of 16, 17. And then electronic manufacturing sector accounts for 2.5 of India's GDP and employs over 13 million. 1.5 lakh is Telangana figure, and 13 lakhs is 13 million is our India figure. So there are 1.2 billion mobile subscribers. India is the first country, number one country in using the mobiles. So, and 661 million internet users. India is second largest manufacturer of mobile phones. So, and the USDM sector is anticipated to reach around $100 billion by 25. So, this is the potentiality which India possesses both in IT and electronics sector. But the students to get employment, there is a slight degree of variation between industry and students. So students always aspire for degree. If they get degree, it's fine. That's all. They are done away with that. But whereas industry looks for skills. So you have to balance whether it is industry or whether it is degree or skills. So there was Jack Ma of Alibaba Group, co-founder. There was a saying from him that if you put bananas and money in front of monkeys, monkeys will choose bananas because monkeys do not know that money can buy a lot of bananas. Likewise, in the students or youth normally know only about degree. If they say degree or skill you want, they will say I want degree first, later skills. No, it is not like that. So you need to have skills more than your academic qualification. So this is just as an analogy I am trying to show this. And then these are the IT employment providers in India, major IT MNCs. See, Facebook, Deloitte, Infosys, Amazon, JP Morgan, HSBC, Accenture, Capgemini, Tech Mahindra. So all these are all famous, reputed IT and ITES companies in the country. So these are the IT employment and skill development agencies, like I said, UPSC, and then the Indian Railways, and then the defense services, the CDA, CDM, and then the skill development agencies are NILIT, National Institute of Electronics and Technology, and then TASK, this is Telangana government, TASK, Telangana Academy of Skills and Knowledge, T-Hub, this is for startups, then Andhra Pradesh Innovation Society, this is for startups, and then Andhra Pradesh Information Technology Academy, like TASK in Telangana, EPITA is in Andhra Pradesh. These are the skill development agencies. So I am talking of skill development now. An employee, a student wants to get an employment, youth wants to get employment, they have to be empowered with proper skills. So these are the skill development agencies. National Skill Development Corporation, NSDC. Then in private we have NIIT, Aptech and all. NASSCOM, this is also skill development agency. Though it is an association of software and service companies, it also provides skill development to the youth. Then Electronic Skill Development Corporation, and then Telecom Sector Council, then National Small Industries Corporation. So these are the skill development agencies. So what are the NSDC? What is NSDC? NSDC is National Skill Development Corporation. It's only that this organization is from Government of India, and it exclusively dedicated to impart skills in various sectors of the society. NSDC aims to promote skill development by setting up vocational training institutions. In the process, they also provide NSDC provides loans to training partners up to 85% of the project cost. NSDC has 538 training partners, 10,373 training centers, 37 skill sector councils, 1,500 jobs. In 1,500 jobs, they provide skills. Trained around 20 lakh youth and placed around 1.86 1,86,477 candidates through their placement initiative. Then ESCI, Electronic Sector Skill Sector Council, is registered 8 lakhs and provided placement to 2 lakhs candidates so far on its own. I have given the website address down below. If you want, you can go and get the details. Any youth can go and get the details in whatever sector, if it is in textiles, whether it is in tourism, whether it is in hotel industry, whether it is in IT, whether it is in electronics. Separate sector development councils are there, supported by NSDC, and these sector councils like ESSCI or like the NASCOM, they conduct skill development programs and also do campus placements to such an extent. Then NASCOM, what are the skilling initiatives of NASCOM? NASCOM aims at upskilling over 2 million technology professionals and skilling another 2 million potential employees and students. NASCOM focus on 10,000 startup program also. So far, 800 startups have been set up by them. NASCOM has organized 65 plus job melas or placement fairs, placement exhibitions, and facilitated around 20,000 jobs. And then under skill development programs, NASCOM has imparted training to 1,95,000 plus candidates or students. So this is the NASCOM skilling initiative. Likewise, in the state of Telangana, we have Telangana Academy of Skills and Knowledge. They have skilling initiatives. Task, that Telangana Academy for Skills and Knowledge are set up with primary aim to work with the government, academia and industry to enhance youth employability. They augment student domain knowledge, soft and communication skills as per the requirement of industry. Arrange campus placements because they have MOUs. The task has MOUs with Oracle, Microsoft, Google, and those who have entered into MOU with them, they give their courseware. Oracle gives their courseware, or Microsoft gives their courseware, machine language, or whatever it is. And then the trainers of the Microsoft Oracle train the students in campuses or in colleges during the third year, and then also subsequently they undertake campus placements. So while in the college itself, they learn the new technologies of these MNC companies as per their requirements. And then task also arrange campus placements. Then recently, this is 15th July notification press release in this is Telangana Today, it has come. The Telangana government task has entered into a tie-up with Coursera, an online platform, learning platform, to train 50,000 unemployed youth in 3,800 centers, courses during COVID to develop high demand employable skills in data sciences, cloud, blockchain, AI, what I told earlier. So these are the new emerging areas in IT sector. So in these data sciences, cloud, blockchain, AI to train, to provide latest knowledge in these verticals, task proposes to train around 50,000 employees and the last date for the enrollment is 30th September. So you can go to the task telangana.gov.in website and download their enrollment form and enroll yourself for this online training program. Oh, very nice, madam. You are a member of task. Very nice. I was Joint Director Information Technology in Government of Andhra Pradesh, combined state. 2014, I was in service. So I know earlier it was called Institute of Electronic Governments, IEG. Now after the state is bifurcated, it is AP Skill Development Corporation in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana Academy of Skills and Knowledge in Telangana. Nice, very nice to hear you. And then these are the task placements. Yes, Madam Madhumati Madam knows these placements. I need not go much details into this. In fact, she can, Madam Madhumati Madam, you can take a detailed program on various skill development initiatives of task. So this is task, and then T-Hub, this is for providing startups. T-Hub is for startups for faster and create business value. T-Hub enables innovation in next generation IT products and new business models. So around 1100 startups have been promoted by T-Hub. T-Hub also assists hardware and IoT startups. So this again, startup is a separate area where in separate session, value added session on entrepreneurship in IT, I would deal with this. Then thank you very much. Thanks for listening to me. So these are the few thoughts I have. So with I think the youth, present youth can upgrade their skills through NSDC, empanelment institutions and all, and they can get an appropriate employment in the near course. Thank you very much. Thanks for listening to me. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.